All right, so before we dive into the meat and potatoes of this video, I just wanted to give you a quick 2023 winter update. So it is now a week before Christmas, and this is the kind of weather that we are dealing with right now. It is 50 degrees out. It is not blustery, as you can tell. The hair isn't moving, and it is gorgeous and sunny. I think that a lot of us are very much welcoming of this winter right now so far, the slow walk into it, because by this time last year, we had inches of snow still on the ground. And so far, the last major snow that we have had was over Thanksgiving. We got a couple of inches, and I actually wasn't even in town for that snow, but it is so gorgeous right now for a week before Christmas in Wyoming. Look at that. This is otherwise known as not normal, but we will welcome it. All right, let's go ahead and get into the video. Snow, wind, and blizzards, oh my. It is true that winters in Wyoming aren't for the faint of heart. And if you are considering making the move to the cowboy state, you're going to want to watch this video as I go into how to prepare for winters in wonderful Wyoming. Hey folks, Summer Robbins here, your real estate renter in Casper, Wyoming. In this week's video, let's get you ready for winter in Wyoming. Now, the number one concern for folks moving here are the driving conditions in the winter, and for good reason. While we do have plows that do an excellent job, sometimes the plows just can't compete with what Wyoming throws out in the wintertime. So first and foremost, I would recommend having a four-wheel or all-wheel drive vehicle. But before you go out and buy that new car, I'd like to share my own personal opinion on vehicles in Wyoming. So, vehicles in Wyoming are tools to get you from point A to point B. And as a tool, vehicles take a beating in Wyoming because of our harsh weather and terrain. In Casper, for example, we experience hail and wind that can easily damage cars. We also have plenty of gravel roads that can cause dings and paint scratches to cars while driving on them. It's also incredibly common to get cracks in your windshield that will require replacement at some point. Real talk, I have had to replace my windshield once a year since moving here because of the terrain that we live in. And most auto insurance policies in Wyoming will even offer glass replacement because this is a frequent issue. So, with all that being said, if you don't mind buying a new vehicle only to see it start getting little dings or paint scratches here and there after a year, then have at it. But personally, I prefer to buy cars that have been lived in a little and have a price that reflects that, knowing that that vehicle is only going to see more adventure in the future. In my own personal and probably unpopular opinion, Wyoming just really isn't the place for expensive, fancy, or flashy cars, unless you plan to drive them cautiously and have them garaged for the majority of the year. Okay, now off of my soapbox. Let's talk about tires. So I 100% recommend snow tires. Many people, myself included, actually have two sets of tires for their vehicles. I personally have a set of all-terrain tires that are my summer tires, and I have a set of snow tires that are my winter tires. Before the first major snow of the winter season, I'll have my snow tires put on, and they will stay on usually until the first week of May or so. I have two separate sets of tires, well, because snow tires are made with more rubber and extra deep tread to give you a better grip on the road. And why don't I just keep them on all year? Well, because that winter strength in the tire becomes summer weakness with leaving your snow tires on when the weather actually warms up. That extra rubber of the snow tire becomes compromised in the summer heat, and you can actually find yourself having to make more corrections on the road as that rubber is hot. So we utilize having two different sets of tires for our vehicles. but not everyone does. Many folks are fine driving all-terrain tires all year long, but I have just found that having 2 separate sets makes it for much better driving conditions for me while driving in the winter. You will also want to make sure that in the wintertime you have window washer fluid for up to negative 30 degrees with de-icer in it. We get a ton of ice, bugs, and buildup that can accumulate on your windshield, which can affect your visibility while driving. So you'll want to make sure that you have window washer fluid rated for our weather conditions in the winter. And speaking of windshields, don't forget to make sure that you also check your windshield wiper blades at the beginning of winter. I like these Endurance wiper blades by Michelin. They are supposed to be crack resistant and they have a water repellent built in them. So, your blades matter. And again, our windshields accumulate tons of bugs and gunk and ice that can wear on your wiper blades. So before you trek out for any major winter travel, you will definitely want to make sure that you check your wipers so that you have the best visibility on the road while traveling. All right, now let's talk about car kits. So with Wyoming having long, isolated stretches of road, the last thing that you want to worry about is finding yourself broken down, stranded on the side of the road in winter, being unprepared while waiting for help to come. You need to have supplies at the ready. A couple of things that you want to have for your vehicle are a shovel, kind of like this one, to help dig you out in case you get stuck in the snow, as well as a windshield scraper to help scrape ice off. I would also recommend a brush to help brush off snow off the top of your car and the front and rear windows. We don't want to have any snow falling off on the car behind us causing an accident. Of course, you will also want an emergency kit. I got this one at Walmart and it has different medical supplies, flashlight. I also keep an extra smaller pen flashlight in here. You're also going to want to keep a portable charger for your phone. I like this one. It's also a solar light, and then it has the charging pack here. And you'll also want to keep hand warmers because you never know when you're going to need these, as well as blankets, water, snacks. It's also not a bad idea to keep jumper cables in your car as well because those are just good to have no matter where you live while traveling in a vehicle. Also, pro tip, download the Wyoming 511 app to your phone prior to any major travel within Wyoming in the wintertime. This app allows you to check road conditions and closures to keep you prepared for what's ahead. Okay, now when it comes to the home, your winter prep should start at the top with the roof, looking for any damage or leaks. Wyoming roofs unfortunately just don't last nearly as long as West Coast roofs. So between the wind, hail, and snow, our roofs take a beating every year. The last thing you want in the winter is a faulty roof because winter intrusion kills homes. Take it from me. Water is bad for homes. Speaking of water, the other item that you will want to perform on your home is blowing out your sprinkler lines before the first frost. If your sprinkler lines freeze, it can be very costly to repair. Another winter prep is clearing your gutters of debris, sealing areas in the interior and exterior of the home where drafts or water can intrude, and making sure that you have downspout extensions on your gutters, moving water away from the home. Like I said, we want to view water as our enemy number one in the winter time and do whatever we can to keep our home protected from water.
He doesn't like water.
A non-water related issue though, as a winter home prep, is replacing your air filter in your furnace. This winter prep is extremely affordable yet so easily overlooked. Making sure that you have a fresh air filter in your furnace for winter will keep the air flowing and your system working efficiently. And when it comes to removing snow, a snow blower, a shovel, and snow melt pellets. I like these. These are pet friendly, so our dog's paws don't get damaged. But if you have the snow blower, a shovel, and snow melt pellets, it's going to help get the job done. Now, depending on your how big your driveway is and how long your sidewalks are, you might want to consider a plow or a four-wheeler with a plow attached. Regardless though, just remember that within the city of Casper, it is the homeowner's responsibility to maintain the public sidewalks in front of their home, and that also means clearing snow on sidewalks for public safety. So, if spending time out in the elements clearing your driveway and sidewalks isn't something that you want to do, you might want to just consider hiring one of our many landscaping companies that offers snow removal services if you'd rather not be dealing with the white stuff. But call me weird, but I personally find shoveling my driveway to be kind of therapeutic. I just bundle up, I throw in the earbuds, put on some tunes, and I get after clearing my driveway, and I end up getting a great upper body workout as a result of it. So I know, I'm weird. But as far as everyday living here goes in the wintertime, you will certainly want to invest in things like beanies, gloves, thermals, a winter jacket, snow pants, snow boots, wool socks, and embrace in wearing lots and lots of layers. I'm not kidding when I tell you that layers is the name of the game for dressing in the wintertime in Wyoming. The saying here goes that if you don't like the weather, just wait 15 minutes, and they're not wrong. Wyoming sees wild weather swings that can make you go from hot to cold in literally a blink. And it's a good idea to have some of those hot hand warmers that I showed you earlier somewhere in your vehicle, just in case you plan to be outside for an extended period of time. All right, so despite all of the information that I've given you in this video, I want to assure you that surviving Wyoming winters is doable if you are prepared. I find that those that come to Wyoming blindly, not understanding our weather or winters, seem to be the ones that struggle the most. But now that you know the top tips to surviving our Wyoming winters, you will go into it staying warm, dry, and most importantly, safe. And remember, summertime does come, and that's the real payoff for these intense winters. And as always, if you are looking to move to beautiful Casper, Wyoming, please don't hesitate to give me a call, text, or email. I would love to help you make your next move. We will see you in the next one.